This is the review of the 2015 Subaru WRX STI. My god, that's a lot of like letters that mean nothing. Anyways, this is the super performance car of Subaru, and they know a thing or two about performance car. They're rally specialists. So it was with a bit of high expectation I was gonna test drive this car. This one comes with a manual transmission. It kind of like made it tighter for the STI. Everything's tighter on the STI, of course. Though I think I prefer automatic transmissions, especially for cars with over 300 horsepower, because you know, when you're driving at those speeds, it's just so much easier if you don't have to worry about the shifting, just worrying about your line and your entry speeds and how you take your corner and everything. The wheels are much bigger on this car, and it just fills out the ugly wheel well, and it makes the car look better. This is going to be more of a comparison also to the WRX, another review I made, so that link will be in the comments for that. I really hate this wing with a passion. Here's what I thought about it while I was on the road.
I can't stand that stupid wing in back. That stupid wing. They open the trunk. Is that like a handle to open the trunk? I don't know why. I never liked that when I was younger, and I don't like it now that I'm older, and I don't understand the people who like it.
The interior is the same as the WRX. There's better sound system. That's with a package. The seats, though, I think the seats are worth talking about. I didn't elaborate them enough when I talked about the WRX, and they have the cute suede and leather. I wanted to listen to my thoughts on that.
The seats they're not incredibly comfortable, but racing sports seats never are. We're not in an M4 after all. However, Ross was telling me after an hour he was getting a little bit nervous. But I can tell you now, for the short commute, like often with these seats, the problem is that the shoulder bolstering really creates an uncomfortable posture. And the side bolsters are too tucked in, like for example the Ford Focus ST, which has the worst seats in the industry. It's not the case with these ones. The shoulders are relatively wide open, and the side bolsters don't hug you too much. They hug you just right. So I would say that for the class, the seats are very good.
Okay, so inside, when you're on the road with this car, the road noise is pretty high. There's no vibration or harshness, but the road noise is evident, the tire noise is evident. Note about the Bluetooth hookup. I mean, it never seems to work. I mean, whether you have an Android and an iOS or a Windows phone, it just never seems to hook up. It takes forever. It's very frustrating. I mean, I don't understand how come Subaru doesn't fix that. I mean, it is a youth enthusiast car. I mean, we all have our phones. The car drinks gas like a pig. You find out very quickly that the transmission is geared for performance and not fuel economy. The car is not very smooth. I find it's priced reasonably well, and I think it's a good value. Subaru makes those interiors that I find are better to sit in than look at. I have a few thoughts to say about that.
Like the driving ergonomics of the Subaru WRX line is just right. I find that the steering wheel is just in the right position. The 10 and 2 lock grips are just right. The shifter is at the right height, it seems, so that I'm like my arm is like at a 90-degree angle when I'm shifting. The pedal placement is good, and there's a good visibility around. You know, there's a nice big window in front. It's really well made for the enthusiast driver. I think it has those key elements. It has the core down very well.
This, for example, is with me sitting in the front at 5'9". Look at all the space you have in back. I mean, how often you have such a practical performance car? Let's listen to the road test.
Okay, give it a few good shots there. Good shot, good shot, good shot. God, I love the sound of this car. I fucking love the sound. They do like the 4-cylinder rumble very well, Subaru.
Yeah.
The clutch is heavy, but the shifter is very good.
Yeah, really heavy.
I can't get over how this car revs high in 6th gear.
Yeah.
It's almost 3,000 RPM. It's not even an overdrive, it's a performance 6th gear.
Exactly.
God, the car doesn't lean at all when you take curves. We're just gonna rev it out here just so that
Yeah,
it is. That's pretty good. So here we are on the highway doing less than 100. I'm gonna accelerate and we're gonna do less than 100, all right? So if you believe that, let's go. Everything's more aggressive. The suspension's more aggressive. I have it on intelligent mode with the diff in auto mode because I just don't have the time to analyze everything. So I put everything in the standard settings, and like it's extremely engaging to drive this car. I mean, if they would make a good-looking version of this car, they would sell a lot of them, I think. The steering is very tight. Unlike the WRX, the STI's brakes are very good. On paper, the car is not much faster, but I guess because I'm driving a manual transmission, and like Ross pointed out to me before, like everything is like harsher about the car. Like the suspension is rougher, the steering feels more dialed in, I guess, and the manual transmission, the engine sound, like it just screams. So all that together, I think Ross told me the difference was 0.6 seconds. But it feels like over a second when you're accelerating hard, just because all those other environmental elements create a sensation that you're going much faster. Like this is not going to be as long a video, I think, because it's just a WRX and everything is set more aggressive. So I think it's fairly easy to conclude that this car is funner to drive, hard, and the other car it's fun to drive hard, but it's just so much more comfortable to live with every day, I think. But you know, when you're young, you have a young heart, you know, discomfort doesn't bother you, and Lord knows I understand. So I think either car is very good.
Ready to take off, Chris.